match happened before, Pavlos. Icebox happened before. Ascent happened before. Rebels took the victory back then, 39, and man, they were convincing defenders. They were building a castle and no besiege tool was holding up. So now it's time. But I'll tell you one thing, Rebels looked shaken up, different, confused. I don't know what it is. I cannot tell you what it was.
The pressure got to them, man. Great teams.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I don't want to accept it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
Well, that break must have been a good one for them because there is no other way. Calm your heart, you know. Breathe out a little bit. Make sure you're breathing well and get that heart pumping to all parts of your body, because my word, you're going to need every part of your body to be functioning correctly, especially that darn brain of yours.
And so they make the approach over middle, as we see right there. A very, very open drone. Pardon, that's the turret, but nevertheless, as it says right there, Gatch falls. Musashi thinks twice about peeking, but all of that happens, Pavlos, and take a look at A main.
They're moving in towards short right now, and as you said, seems to be Mazik holding out onto that A main position. So they'll have two different angles to take on this attack. But Rebels, though, they've already rotated over. Tree control. If the A site cross comes through, they can at least shut down the spike here if it gets the cross forwards with Kachu through the smoke as well. Gathers the kill. They've already managed to move past it, though. The trades still favor the Surreal side.
Magic word, 6 letters, it's retake. And something that worked well for Rebels. Is it the case, though? Kashu low, utility not that big, but they'll still try their best.
Yeah, flash coming through, aftershock to the bottom side. Kashu is low. He's going to be used as a beanbag at the first instance, but Surreal take everything down very, very quickly. Good lineups held by him, giving them first blood.
And let's take a look at it. Previous times, right? What mattered? When we take a look at the previous game for Rebels versus Surreal over on this map, what did we see? Well, what we definitely saw was, first of all, a very, very solid defense from Rebels. I think you and I even casted that, and they were going in, let me correct, 8 rounds in a row on defense. So this is where it started good. You know, Gatch and Cole lost the pistol, but on the buy round, again and again, the defense was too strong. The guys from Surreal were too fast, right? Those are things that just happen. That's normal. And when we're taking a look at that Ascent, it just left this bitter taste of your mouth, like, you can be fast, but then there are 2 strong defending utilities up here, no chance. But that's what we also thought about the other map, where Rebels had an Astra to slow things down, right? That's even better than an Omen and Maelstrom slowing abilities. Not diversity, but slowing abilities. Or let's say mobility. And so this is where I'm worried about, because it could be Surreal really getting in a hang of it, how Rebels plays. It will pan out in the next 12 rounds, and then we'll see.
There's potential to be comedic.
Haha!
Ooh, potential.
Hilarious.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry, man.
That's fine. That's fine. We've seen a lot of chaos and madness this past few rounds, the past few games, so I think we're allowed to be reacting in such ways. But yeah, right, Surreal should be able to close this out early. And you're talking about the previous maps that these guys have played on Haven, Rebels' performance as well, the fact that we saw them sort of work out pretty well on this particular map.
Totally.
But do you think that we're kind of looking at a different Rebels right now? Do you think we may not be looking at Rebels at their prime play potential?
I remember the first day. Remember the first day that we saw them play. Significant. My God, they were looking good against Surreal. 13-2.
Very strong.
And then against Anonymous, they were not online. Like I said, I think it was the B team of Rebels. And I just hope right there that they can get themselves together, because I think a fresh, recovered Rebels is an absolute machine. A bulldozer. A tank. You can't escape them. You cannot, Pavlos. You cannot. But if I talk about worries, one thing I'm worried about is the sniper capability. Sounds a little odd, but Ascent is, for example, with some of the longer rooms we have, or the defensive approaches, an operator-friendly map. And when we talk about Haven, it was, with overtimes included, Surreal getting 21, Rebels getting 1 of those sniper kills. The same happened on the previous Ascent, with 7 kills on the side of Surreal and 0 on the side of Rebels. It could be a decider, but this, first of all, is a decider of the momentum.
Yeah, first buy round, of course. As you say, momentum dictator. I think so maybe is where they will be approaching initially, but looking at the spike and where they place themselves as a whole,
They're selling
the B
it.
side they're more looking at.
And they're
right?
selling it quite good, but they don't believe it for too long. They hear the steps, and there's a good squad arriving now on the B side. The firing people are ready to extinguish, but nothing happens. So retake. It is the thing with Surreal. I think I could be obviously just absolutely distorted by what I've seen from Heyman, but it feels the first time I see a fake from him. Obviously, I could be horribly distorted. I just saw 20 million rounds in Haven.
There
But
are not many of them, that's for sure.
that is for certain, yeah.
Out of charges. Placing alarm bot.
Okay, Vukashu.
There it goes.
Well, they've realized they switched their minds up again, but Rebels still have plenty of players holding it. Paranoia will be thrown at them. That will delay them just a little bit, but look at the tree control. Looking to be a menace. Scatch onto the backside of things,
close.
looking for the shots. Musashi as well. Vukashu looks to join in on the fray. Rebels seem to be winning out on every single one of these angles. Vukashu is on his element right now, and Rebels find themselves on the board.
Oh, you know what? Now I even remember. There's just this picture just popping up in my head. Vukashu was a horribly annoying guy over there on A. Man, how often did his setup get players? How often did we witness them, or more likely witness him, be so distracting and disturbing, also in the paths that he allows, right? And that's so important with the Killjoy. What, for example, we see right here is a setup that obviously doesn't allow you to go generator. So a little bit of the left side of the A side is denied. The place where you can hide a lot, for example, towards Haven, is denied. Pay attention to that. It's going to be very crucial throughout the future of this game in case Reens and Co. don't find an antidote to that play.
Null is used right away, and that's a really important aspect. Nano Swarms will be also used pretty early, but, you know, if you're not able to use them later on, you might as well use them as soon as you can. Look at the push coming forward.
No.
It seems that Surreal are getting most of the kills in this endeavor. JJ can also be resurrected, and that's the beautiful part about this. Now, they've got double the amount of players alive, and they've even got a lockdown to use as a guarantee. Looking for the shots, Janny denied access, and Linksy has no pass to the site. The bouncer just says, nope. Looks at his ID, yeah, that ain't gonna do. Either if it's because of his appearance, either because he's 18. Actually, I'm not quite sure how old Linksy is, but still, you know, he's just denied access. That's the end of that.
I was more thinking of the way Breach looks like, and he doesn't look 18 to me. But I mean,
No.
Sweets might just look different. Let's put it that way. Right, Surreal making it on the side swiftly. Felt like it was a millisecond too early on the Killjoy setup, but it didn't have the same impact. Oy, oy, oy. And they figured a way out. Figured out a way early to deny the safety. Because again, I just need to give you that thought. The point where Rebels was hitting buy rounds in that previous game they had, that was a few days ago, and to be accurate, it was 2nd of April, so pretty much 6 days ago. That point in time when when Rebels was getting the weapons, rifles, all of it, Surreal wasn't winning any single attack round anymore. Not one attack round they won anymore. After that point, after that second, and suddenly, it looks like they might have found a way into it. It looks like it might be all different. This right here, Pavlos, is already more attacking rounds than they got in the previous instance they've met on the server. And that is a scary sign, because I don't see Rebels fully focused right now. This is not the Rebels I know, but they still have a few more seconds, minutes, or rounds to get over it.
They've moved in towards mid. An approach we've seen a couple of times from Zero so far. No strangers to this play, but no real utility expended for Rebels to kind of realize that early. They give them the respect. What is expended, though, is from the Shadows, gains that early information. There is presence in that direction as it's quickly shut down. Pushing through those, short control, sort of denied for a little bit. Fault line keeping them back. But Rebels, without any information, are just going to have to hold their line.
And I'm worried if they want to go B main, but they seemingly are not. Well, they do care about it. I'm taking it back. Jenny could be quite painful to their split, as it's 50 seconds left on the clock. The drone is coming in. The info dart is joining from the opposite side, but Jenny's trying his best. He has to escape. They're coming.
Ooh, Musashi again coming up huge. 2 kills, that is perfect. And now he's shut down this push. JJ also falls ahead. Surreal. They may have found the numbers at some point, but all of a sudden Rebels have completely crumbled them, put them to their graves one by one, set to the graveyard, and Rebels find their way back in and keeping the score close.
They do. Finally, they do. I mean, that split for a second looked very scary, but all that mattered in the end is making it work, and they have done so. As we're wondering for our personal art gallery, I'm sure Munsk's Dream is in there after the previous game.
That's pretty much our face. That would pretty much describe our faces after that game.
Absolutely.
Like my mind was blown and my mouth was fully open.
Time vanishing, as in some of Dali's paintings, all of it together. That dagger's going to be interesting because it will not find anything in the future in case Rebel stays that way. Overall, when we take a look at the approach, B-side early ruling out. It's going to be Musashi playing in market, and Lynxy doing the classic flex thing, right? Or let's say rotation thing, which also Chaos do. Perfectly fits. Just a different initiator, different flasher, different stopping power player. And as we put it that way, the A side seems intriguing, doesn't it?
Ooh, Masik might have walked into
ow.
the nanoswarm. He's going to die. Ooh, 30 points of health. But Vokashu to the back end, still holding strong. Masik able to deliver with Gatch, but somehow they're not able to find Vokashu at the end of it, finding another head, still keeping things close. Masik heavily damaged, but the site is theirs, and they're even throwing a lockdown for good measure.
Spike planted.
That's such a risky lockdown. That is such a weird lockdown, but anyway.
Buying the time. Wait, Johnny's pushing up?
Yeah,
What?
he tried something. But you know, I'm quickly going a little endeavor with this. You know why this is not a good lineup? You know why this is not a good Killjoy ult? Because you often see players have a shock dart lineup exactly on that position where the planter is. Explain that logic to me.
Here.
But maybe I'm too critical about things. Maybe, just maybe. But it's you know, it's tiny things, right? We're talking about a 10 million round overtime, so the tiny things make the difference. The tiny things
really
make the
do.
difference, and with Surreal getting already the double amount of rounds from last time around, on the right track to success. That's very much what it feels like, as they're conquering this castle and don't have to stand in front of those gates again and again. Surreal will send the boys from Rebels in an uncomfortable spot. A round that has high impact. A round that is worthy of an overtime. Pardon, of a pause. Not of an overtime, dear lord. Because after this, if this is 5-2 for Surreal, money's looking low. Money's looking dire. And they're running away with it. And I'm not quite sure how you see it, but Surreal can deal with momentum quite well.
I'm really not surprised Rebels goes for the timeout here.
Oh, no.
Right? Because Surreal are literally starting to run away with the game.
Oh, they do.
They've been put under pressure with the overtime. They're probably hitting themselves after losing a few of those rounds. Quite a lot of them, let's be fair. And they're in their own heads.
Yeah, they are.
And Surreal are also very good under pressure. So many games they had in overtime, and they've done so good. In my eyes, from what I've seen from Surreal, I think they're pretty good under pressure.
I'm going to give you that. I personally, I think the scenario so far just looked a little bit odd in some of the rounds they've gotten when such pressure was on. The 12-10, they've done a rolling a dice, but rolling a dice worked in this case. But you're right. I mean, I see where you're coming from with what you're saying. It feels a lot like they don't do those major mistakes, the amateur mistakes, the rookie mistakes, when the pressure is going on. And so their default sets themselves up
Placing swarm grenade.
as they head over to see if that info dart is coming in. Rebels do the same as usual, though. Nothing crazy changed. Nothing changed, really. Both parties stay. Surreal is really defaulting heavy right here, waiting out a lot, seeing what happens. And maybe that's the thing with Rebels. Because the last time around, they were quite quick on it. Now quickly towards A, that could be the direction.
Really could be the direction. Early approach now towards main. They've shown their ground by touching that orb. Cashew just pre-fires through the smoke. Excuse me?
Sure, this kid can do it all. I'm not surprised.
Oh, that's amazing. Cosmic Divide onto the back end. Hunter Churi looking to kill him off, but he's somehow not available to die just yet. No, you have to book him for another time. Gatch and Lynxy, all of them coming in. Rebels finally showing presence in this game. Rian's damaged up a little bit, but up against Fallen, he knows his fate has been sealed. Oh. Shipped away also. There you have it. Rebels close up the gap.
And you know what? It's remarkable that they make this round work with the ults invested by the Surreal side. That was very crucially, that's very crucial to me at least, the Hunter Shuri, including the Astro Wall. Right? The Cosmic Divide sent in, which got a lot of heaven and under heaven, both positions pretty much denied. But it still wasn't enough, because when you're doing that, and then obviously there's also your Sova popping her ults, popping his ult, pardon me. It is that you're less and less players actually pushing, right? You have to still get on the side, and you know, the Rebel side is rotating as well. So it's just making it more complicated. They got out of this die around. Timeout taken before they succeeded, because otherwise they would have been in economic trouble. And as all of this is happening, Surreal once more know only one key. That's W. And this is the first time they feel that fast. Like that fast.
Ooh, okay. Musashi ends up falling very quickly from that. Masick takes a lot of damage through it, but still is alive, which is the important part. But of course, if he runs out of blades, he'll only have a frenzy to work with. So his death could come quickly. Look at the push from Janny, though. Will push out, gains that information, but Surreal may want to regather that position. But no, they actually push on forwards. As he said, the only thing they know how to use is that W key, and they will be using even further. Walking into the crosshair for Cashew. Spring them down, but he may be running out of bullets here. We'll be able to find one before he falls himself. Janny and Gatch onto the backside of things, but Janny, he's too far away from the fight. That means Surreal are able to find themselves the advantage and get that spike down.
Sure, it will get him first. They have absolute awareness of what's up. They'll not make a noise. Both players are separated. It is possible for Jenny, but can he pull that one off?
Both players very, very close. And you can smell them dropping by. Cloudburst concealing his position onto one of these ends, and now
he's
finds the first side angle, but Alfaya is better, knowing what's going to happen in that endeavor and shooting him down.
That was so smart from him, smoking off under heaven, isolating himself from another spot, and just, you know, making it possible he checks a bit off the back of Jen, giving him that. Definitely giving him that. But here you see it again, speeding up massively, just going instantly on the side. And more likely not on the side, but taking a duel over market. Changing up the pace, Surreal make that work quite well. I gotta give him that, but Rebels on the other side, a few life insurances ready to be popped. From every player, basically. You got yourself a Rolling Thunder, you got yourself that lockdown, you got yourself those daggers, as we see. But probably in such a round where your economy is low, you will only use it if, for example, if you get an entry. And if Jenny does... he does.
He does. Oy, 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 indeed. I felt that. I don't think Gilles had time to feel that.
Oh, no, I mean... I don't know how death works, so I cannot tell you how that works. Anyway... from very odd conversation point. Sorry, man.
I didn't realize it was time into that conversation.
I'm sorry, dude. Either way,
okay.
Reincarnation coming up in our next episode. But now, staying here where we are, it seems like some players need to be reborn, and they need to be reborn with force. And it's definitely starting good for Masick.
It really shouldn't be around here for the Rebels side, cancelling the From the Shadows. It seems it should be a close-up cleanly, and it will be just that. Yeah, okay. Johnny runs out of blades, therefore can't really use them anymore and has to switch to the pistol, which doesn't really give him a chance. We're actually seeing Surreal run away with a real advantage here, Zest. We're looking at them gaining a 3-round lead. And I think this is becoming a little bit scary, considering we haven't seen such big leads in a very, very long time.
You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Surreal is performing magic here. This is the main thing I can say about them. The way they're overrunning and changing the pace is remarkable to me. Because it's not like they have the craziest set pieces in the world, but it feels like a lot with this team comes down to them realizing how good they play together. I mean, the A side goes, for example, feels like there's a good chunk of synergy just ready for them. And, you know, as I said when I asked him, you know, they had those trials back in December, if I'm not totally wrong, and they adapted really, really fast to each other. And you know, you witness that right here. They seem to flourish when they're under pressure. I'm actually taking it back. You're right.
Rolling Thunder will keep them at back, for sure. Musashi also holds on here with a lovely little shot that won't be connecting as everyone is falling back a little bit, but they've given him the spike over. Okay, how much do they fight for this control, though? Right, they'll have to use a lot of utility to keep this at bay, unless they just want to hold back with the numbers of advantage they gathered. Riens just grabs the spike and is out of there, but Hunter's Fury coming in a little bit too late. Can it bind any damage? I'm afraid not. Maybe one tag onto Riens, but that is it.
That is it. You say it. You name it. And we have 60 seconds left. Towards A, there's neither control from both parties, so only the left side of the map has been pretty much secured. They know, though, what's happening on in there in B main. 45. Clock's ticking, and taking a look on the utility board, Jailers is getting 1 star back. While short is secured, A side is secured, and seemingly Vokashi is playing for his lockdown. They're entering B!
Whoa.
In what fashion, though?
How do you even do that, Alfire? He just swings out, and as soon as he sees them, they just get deleted. Masik as well chiming in. Honestly, Vukashu has to bring out a masterpiece if he wants to bring this back.
Spike planted.
First needs to find himself Masik, who is sneaking onto the side angle. They've also exchanged positions, but he's been figured all out. Masik finds the head. And there you go. Surreal are just inching forwards, leaving Rebels behind.
No words. No words. Goodness, Rebels. You know, they picked up a good chunk of victories over on this map against a few teams. I think Avaria is definitely worth mentioning. Kesso, Koi. Yeah. Decent. Strong. All of it. All together. And so, a quick look, a glance over the economy and the bank accounts of Rebels tells us this is where I'm getting worried. Next round, Fokus has to use his ult, because otherwise it seems sort of wasted. Let's see if he can make that work. Omen smokes from Gatch. One of them being a one-way. Reens wants to counter it. Will they even look behind it? Look at the pings.
Uh-oh.
They know. Oh,
Yeah, well,
goodness.
again, Surreal, they seem to be finding everything. Yeah, okay. Well, obviously, you don't expect much from Rebels this particular round, but you do need magic eventually to find your way
maybe
back
you
in.
do.
You need a sorcery that we've seen this entire series, right? And it seems that Rebels have run out of that Tinkerbell dust.
Well, it seems like their childhood dreams, Peter Pan-like, are going to once more survive in this. Surreal, taking a route towards mid. Or also, by the way, a position mid that has not been really defended with any utility so far. Just usually a Musashi staying there. But they changed their route again. Setting themselves up. And Rebels, they're meandering to the right side. They're moving, and you gotta make a decision.
Yeah, Nano Swarm doing a little bit of damage there, but honestly, Rebels,
30 seconds.
what is their chance? Musashi's actually have an opportunity there through the smoke links. He's actually found
What?
two. What on earth, Johnny, as well? They just woke up this round and decided to click heads. As simple as that.
Last round before the switch.
This is the round they win. This is the round they win, Pavlos. That one is the one they're picking up. Do you want me to analyze that? Left mouse button. Easy. Oh my goodness. A quick look on the scoreboard to just make sure that I didn't forget about things. That would be amazing, because one thing I want to tell you, if I'm not totally in the wrong, and man, I could be totally in the wrong, maybe you see the scoreboard in a second, is that Rebels had a quiet, dire situation coming up. They had a very big problem for a long time with finding rounds, and suddenly they succeed, my friend. Suddenly with Sheriffs, they succeed. Now put even the operator in mid, and the fun part is Lynxy stays towards B as well. Omen is the one that moves over to A. Pardon, that was the case. Excuse me, Pavlos, go on.
No, they can stay forever now, forever young now, right? They found the promised land, they found Tinkerbell's dust, and now they can just stay young. Live in a land where they never age.
Oh,
but
this is so bad.
Oh dear, Hunter's Fury. That's what cash you out of it, and that is a player you heavily rely on holding down that A site. As simple as that. Surreal will take over, and Rebels only have the rest to deal with this retake.
The pillar of defense taken out off the server. And a quick look tells us that it just played this one on retake so well. There's no real utility awaiting. Someone destroy the wall. That is the matter. And is it coming in?
Oh, timing. Oh dear, no one was there to defend him at the end of it. Surreal get on top when it comes to these kills, and now it's Gatch onto the sideline, desperately trying to find himself kills. Lynxy also chimes in, but it's not good enough. Less than fire. Peek out from the shadows. Surreal get 8.
So we head into second half. The one where the boys from Surreal might just take it home. Man, it looked not doable. It looked not doable. We saw an 8-4 half on Haven for Rebels. An 8-4 advantage, my man. 8-4. And it all just turned out to be horrible. It turned out to be a nightmare. From a dream called VCT to something that for the moment, at least for Rebels, a nightmare called Valorant Regional League. And not because they are themselves, but because this is not what the expectations showed us. So many people were guessing Rebels gonna be it. And so they're gonna go for that A-side take. But is it gonna be it?
Rebels beat Surreal in the past, man. They beat them in groups. And now, they're struggling to do it when it most matters. They're struggling to do it at the bottom bracket. Well, there you go. Master gets one. A freebie runs out of it. Already, Surreal seem to have the upper hand.
Yeah, they do.
They've done this so many times, Esht.
So they wait. So they're patient. Jenny really doesn't have a good day. He's not hitting his day. I mean, it feels like an eternity, right? But Icebox look good. The holy trinity of Rebels was coming up there. Man. Masashi, Vakasha, Jenny, those guys, strong performers. It feels like an eternity, actually, when I think about it.
It does. And also, when you think about it, it was kind of shaky. Alfaya missing up an opportunity there. Will be able to find one. Quickly traded, though. Mid-control fully under wraps of Rebels as they look to move into the avenue that is called this B site. Rians. All that remains, but he can definitely do damage. Swing out with a frenzy, and he grabs out 2 heads. How do you make it look so simple? Vukashu left all by himself, and the rest of the Surreal side has been able to find their way back on the site quick enough to shut him down. What are we witnessing?
You tell me. You tell me. I'm out of this world. This is mesmerizing. This is magnificent. Ascent is a map that works so well for Surreal on defense. On defense, they flourish. Mostly against Turkish team. I'm gonna give them that, right? Sure, maybe the stats will be a bit skewed in that direction, but at the same time, man, at this point, I'm right now sitting here with you. I feel like it feels like one round after another, there's a man with a hammer nailing that nail in the coffin, and it's getting louder and louder, and you can't open up at one point more. As Surreal try to push up forward, that's one hefty fight they're taking.
Oh, yeah, there goes Gatch. Masik as well, looking for these trades. Masik is just having fun right now. He's gone for a trip, but it seems that Rebels will just wake them up from their sleep. It's a dream that turned into a nightmare, and now Rebels seem to have control. It's the pistols, man. It's the pistols that change everything.
I see it. I see it, my man. And was a few classics, by the way, in the mix as well. Just putting that. It's not all the sheriffs that they've used, but switching weapon. He hears the spike. 2 shock darts available. The door's gonna be open. Info dart as well. And now it's not about isolating. Don't give Reens 1v1s.
Bolt to the back, wine angle corner. Not quite ready. Would have liked it to spot out for Cashew.
Oh, hell
like
no.
It won't be given isolation. Shock dart, far end. Binksy down to half points of health. If he goes for another one, he could even kill him.
No
If it
way.
lands directly on him.
Yep.
Oh, and he might be able to do that. There you go. Isolated. Doesn't even need to see his opponent to do that. Ooh, takes down the bot.
That fight, Pavlos.
Oh, he's being baited. He's going to hold until half. He is. Peek out again. Reads it just like a book. A book he's read one too many times. Recovers it and puts Surreal on double digits.
And I tell you one thing, that book is a good night story because Rebels is being put to sleep. Sure, let's be realistic. That was just a bit of a force. But can we talk about the mental real quick, Pavlos? Can we talk about the fact that when you are actually thinking, oh, we can win this, we can break their economy, we can actually gain momentum, and you're seeing yourself falling in that fashion? Listen to me. Surreal sees right now an opponent faltering, a giant, as I would call it, getting on the knees. And think about Haven. Rebels was 1 round away. Multiple times, actually, but even a regular playtime. And now, Surreal is running, and they're running far.
They've gotten away, man. They really have. That round would have been the opportunity. And you talked about a force, right? You talked about some sort of shenanigans going on from the Rebels side, nearly catching them off guard. Now they've got a buy round, and they know. You mentioned squeaky bomb time at the start of today.
That's very
today this is
squeaky to
lower
me.
bracket, but this is the squeakiest it's ever been.
Absolute max squeakiness reached, yeah. I'm with you on that. No, the pressure's on. And you know, with Rebels, I'm gonna give you that. With Rebels, it was always tight games they have played, right? The best of 5 to qualify here, all 5 maps played. The entire way they went for it, the entire way they had to play. Those guys just 4th place in the regular season in Spain. Not on top, not the best team.
I feel that's been the case with so many of these teams.
I think if I think back at VCT, it feels a bit like, for example, the Ascent case.
Yeah. So true. See how they turn tables here.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, Surreal have such a good read on this. Doesn't even, it's just the gamble stack, but it might be falling directly how they would like it to fall. Right into their laps.
Yeah. They're smoking that out, and they're trying to see where they end. This is the round. Pavlos, this is like the round.
Yeah,
in
Rebels
caps.
haven't even lurked towards the A site. They're lacking that information.
Yeah.
It seems they're still sticking around here. Look at the push coming through from Garage as well. Look at the Sova, ends up dying.
Instead.
Also, Janny looking to push through directly right now. Rebels have gotten most kills, but Masic gets the better angle, gets the better timing. Gatch is able to deliver, but Masic looks to peek out once more. Gatchik links he off guard. Can he get more onto the side? Buys time for the rest to follow through. Gatch, will he be able to TP away? They've lost the spike.
Masic!
It's in the middle of Surreal's hands, and it's all down to a fire. 30 seconds, and Rebels are in trouble. Phantom collected now for this man.
They need to go up to get the spike, so they need to fight. But they make
They
it
look
work.
for the fight and they get the shot. Vukashu gets it done. Rebels, hold on.
Goodness. Another overtime, huh, Pavlos? As we're floating over a flying Venice, a city known for Italian grandezza of people. For the, let's say, Dolce Vita, it feels like Rebels, nothing so Dolce about their life.
Yeah.
Not one bit. Again and again, they falter with simple mistakes. The thing that Jenny did there, I was mesmerized how that worked. And suddenly he goes on site, but again ends up as first death.
It's incredible. Janny is not really getting anything done this time. Every single time shut down from this side. But Rebels maybe find their way back in, getting most of their numbers here. Musashi's actually pushed up as well. Have a look at that. But Gilles reads it, and now it's equalized. No one there to trade Musashi's life. That's the risk you take when you push up like that.
Let's see what they can do with it. Because JJ has the right flashes for it. The players are back on site. They have the attacker Killjoy. But will it work, though?
Oh, dashing through. He's got the blades. Gatch gets through, but can't turn to his left in time. Surreal get the lockdown destroyed as well. The defuse will follow suit. How incredible has Surreal been this map?
On the edge of the seat. Absolutely, that's a perfect description for this game. 3 versus 3 retake, got the Killjoy ready, and both players fall on site. Both players take the fight. And it looked like magic that Gatch might perform, but it seems like he is not the one that's gonna pull the rabbit out of the head. Which trick do you have left for us, Rebels?
They're running out of them. It feels like they are.
Jenny on 6, man. Musashi on 7 kills. Sure, frags don't mean anything, but with Rebels, a team that is known to have such high performers on an individual basis, it seems like that is going to be a fast desperation play. Ooh. And he's dead again. He's dead
JJ nearly get caught off, but Masic again shuts him down. Johnny really is hating life right now. Rians, though, makes that Hunter Shuri work out. Surreal still with the upper hand, but yet to give them full access. Push from Musashi, but this time he needs to come out on top. He needs to get this kill, otherwise they'll be in trouble. Spike to the far end. Not an easy way to play post-plant. They need to play this up close and personal. Pushing through. Musashi makes it work. Quickly traded back from on fire, but look at the push coming in from Tree. Peeking out. JJ gets it done. Gilles as well. They get the deed done as quickly as that. Spick and span. Surreal will be finding themselves on map and series point.
Team Ace.
Nobody, Pavlos, was looking at the direction of Rebels as losers. Nobody even thought that they're the underdog. They were the crown jewel of the Valorant regional leagues. A spirited team that knows how to fight. Mostly gloves off because they do bare knuckle. Besides that, none of that is present. This is not the Rebels I know. And Surreal, outstanding performance so far. At Haven, I was doubting them. On Ascent, I don't even have the slightest left. And look at it again. They mainly focus on that A side. It seems like really we're getting into desperation moves.
Deploying drone.
This is about qualification, Pavlos. There's one more best of 5 laying ahead of us. And Surreal, they might have never believed it themselves. Nobody really believed in them. I think only Ryan predicted them. And if they make it work tomorrow, I'd be surprised. But first
I
of
think
all,
only Ryan picked them, and
he was
that
the
was
only
to
one.
satisfy Yinzu, who
Yep.
didn't have a vote.
exactly.
Oh, no way.
And they're the Turkish hope. SMB is out.
One Turkish team has fallen, another one shall rise. This is it.
Maybe.
Getting the early information out into the open. Hunter Shuri will utilize, looking to find that headshot. JJ barely scrambling away with his life. Rebels desperate to get in. Janny, look how far he's gotten in. He needs kills. He needs them desperately. He needs his confidence back. The spike will get planted. It's a 5-on-5 Zesht.
That's a 5-on-5 retake. That could work quite well, because take a look at Al Fakher. He has his ult. Same goes for Jailers. They might just deny the chance for Rebels. It is their round for Surreal. The round.
Lynxy has his aftershock. I'm not sure he'll be able to find that angle. It's actually quite off. He will try and use it, but it's right at the end of it. Yes. Quickly eliminated. Nicely done. Let's see if they can carry on from this. Pushing through now. Gatch onto the sideline. Lynxy able to find it. Rebels seem to have seized control. They've had enough of it. Not just yet, Surreal. Not yet. They're still in it, and they'll still hold on. Massacre will save that operator. Well, at least he'll try. But Rebels, the important part is that they will let that spike explode and get themselves another round in this game.
Will they get another 6? Like, that's the big elephant in the room, right? 6 rounds. This felt like a better executed A-side go than the last two. Absolutely shaky. And I'm just waiting for the round. If this goes on, Pavlos, I'm just waiting for the round where finally Musashi is awake as well. I'm waiting for the round where, you know, Lynxy can perform better. And particularly Janny. Particularly Janny. It's time to do something. It's time to grab that steering wheel and drive towards victory, but I'm sure Surreal will not let that one slip that easily. And that's their top fragger dead. That's Vakashu out of the situation. Surreal with a major advantage, but they're running A. Only one player stands, and that is Jailers.
They saw the economy at the start of the round. They realized, okay, the most likelihood of this round is that the only weapon they have is the one that Masic holds. Therefore, they knew it was in that direction. Let's not take that fight. Let's head towards the other way. For good reason as well. I mean, look, Surreal had every other player nearby to assist Masic if that was required. So, Rebels, good choice made by them, but a Vandal is also picked up by Alfalia.
Yeah, but that...
Celeste?
Yeah.
Oh, he gets him. Jenny is not having fun today. Jenny will be shut down once again. Musashi now needs to put in these carry pants. They know he's nearby in this direction, but do they know he's on heaven? Masic will be caught off here, but the flash will be catching him out of guard. Masic quick enough to react to that. Surreal, they have done it. One Titan of Turkey has fallen, but another one will stand tall. Out with the old, in with the new. Surreal will be fighting tomorrow up against Big to determine if they'll make it into VCT Challengers EMEA Stage 2.